All right. So you first gave me the name. You say Mayfield. Mayfield is the name of a man, and he's a bloodline. You gave me the name of Eli. That's the name of a dog, and he's a bloodline. I told you I'm going to help you. Give me another one. Go ahead.
Oh,
Give me.
Pat Patrick.
I'm sorry.
Pat Patrick.
Pat Patrick's. That's a man. Okay. Go ahead.
Oh,
Just what? Just one more. Just one more.
Bert Sorrell.
Sorrells. Very good guy. That's a man. So basically, what we're running here, you gave me the name of. You gave me the name of what was 3 guys and a dog. You call them bloodlines. When you call Mayfield, you're looking at the brand. That is the brand. The good thing about you is that you didn't give me a name of a cheap stuff they call kennels. So you actually gave me the name of a man that bred a lot of dogs, and he's embedded in a lot of the dogs that we have today. He was impactful in the dogs of today, Don Mayfield. About the specifics of what dog he had, it was good or bad, that's something else. And did he have one single bloodline himself? Well, he had dogs from a lot of people. He did have dogs from a lot of people. When you look at a dog, and he had influence on the Eli dogs. Eli dogs are Boudreaux dogs, basically, in some part. And then that's where they came from. And then they go down. Patrick, basically, is Tombstone and Bolio. And so that's where they come from. But they came from different bloodlines. But when you name the name Patrick, that means Patrick was the man that had the infusion of breeding the daughters of Bolio to Tombstone and created a bloodline that became very potent and powerful. And that's what we know today as Patrick dogs. And then you mentioned the name of, I think, was Bert Sorrell. He had dogs that were literally his own bloodline. Out of all those men, Bert Sorrell was, in my opinion, the most complete man, but dogman, but not one that everybody knows. His dogs basically disappear. What you're telling me here, you're giving me the name of a dog, Eli. Maybe 100,000 people at one point had dogs that they considered to be Eli. You ask 100,000 people, first 10,000, then 100,000, they're probably 200,000 now because they breed these dogs so much. And every dummy will have an Eli dog. The idea that 100% of all these dogs are great is completely moronic and stupid. There's only a small amount of dogs, very small amount of dogs, and don't be generous by saying 5%. Less than 1% is going to be of excellence, which means that most people are holding dicks. Most people are holding a big penis in their hands. They really have nothing. They got a dog they call Eli, and they're joined by pedigree. And some they say Eli, and it's not very little bit of it. Then mixed with a whole bunch of the stuff. The more men you put in the equation between Eli and your dog, the worse the dog is going to be. Because the more people you put, more variables are going to be. Less consistency. So, Don Mayfield died a long time ago. Okay? I was in Texas back in 2002 maybe when he died. His best years were in the 80s. That's when his best years were, in the 70s and the 80s. So a dog from him today is probably worth nothing. Nothing at all. And a dog from Patrick, they already went through an evolution process, and the better of his dogs went to Hollingsworth. And Hollingsworth had one major amazing dog. One. His name was, and that's the name that put him on the map. And put his mother on the map as well. And he is Grand Champion Mayday. When the Hollingsworth Dolly got bred to yellow. And then he died. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to see the glory of Mayday. So when you see Eli, he's like every neighborhood, every hood got Eli. He's not the dog. Right now, Eli are not great dogs at all. I mean, no one in the very top of the line, elite level, when it matters, in the last 10 years of the golden era, we died in 2015, no one had Eli dogs. Everything had moved into red dogs. And it's very simple. You look at the ROM list, you look at the Grand Champion list, the real grand champions, the one that matters, and they're going to be red or buckskin. So Eli was a black dog. Most of his dogs were black, and so there's nothing there. Okay, so the Patrick dogs that you mentioned outdid the Eli dogs. The crowd, the people, different cultures outgrown those dogs. So you got black dogs and you got red dogs, basically, between Patrick and Eli dogs. Okay? And Don Mayfield is in the back of the Patrick dogs. Believe it or not, Don Mayfield is in the back of the red dogs, because Don Mayfield was the man that had Tombstone at one point. And I think he was involved with Carver and Heinzel, which Bolio comes from. So the man is the most important thing. Okay, so you call me asking for dogs and you are confused. You say you heard so many things, and basically what happens is when you're looking at these things, right? Any of these men and any of these bloodlines, I'm going to give you a little thing right now. You get confused because there's three type of men. There is the man that asks the right men, and he's never confused because he got the right information. And then is the man that asks the wrong man, and he's always wrong. And there is the guy that asks 1,000 men, and he's also wrong because he's also confused and don't know shit about dogs. And so it's two men get lost in the jungle, and after a long time, all skinny, about to die, they crash into each other and say, who gave you these directions? And one said, well, I asked everybody, and that's where you are right now. And then another one said, I asked the wrong person. Today you have dummies that being always lost, they ask the wrong person, and they don't have the courage that you have. And the reason why I'm actually attending your college, because you have courage. You said I'm confused. Okay. Most people don't say I'm confused. Most people, they're arrogant and they think they know it all. There's something called the Cummings and Kruger study. What's the name of it? Dunning-Kruger, right? Dunning-Kruger. Dunning-Kruger effect. Dunning. Look it up. I might text it to you. And you read that effect, and it's going to teach you how to shop around for dogs. Because it's going to tell you that 99% of the people or 95% of the people, they think they are great drivers. When in fact, only maybe 3% are great drivers. The rest are, big chunk is mediocrity, and there's a big part at the bottom that are terrible drivers, but they think they are great. I think I fall into that branch, by the way. I think I'm a great driver, but I'm probably pretty dangerous sometimes. So when you look at this thing, is everybody thinks a great driver, but they're not a great driver. People think they know shit about dogs. They really don't. And you know how you find out? You ask them questions. You always ask them. You ask about what bloodline you have is really stupid question. And I tell you this with respect, because having a bloodline, it means having nothing if you don't have the man himself. So when you say Eli, 200,000 dogs out of Eli is not hard. Very easy. 200,000 dogs coming from Eli. Easy. And you have at least 10,000 morons that say, they'll pick up their hand and say, yeah, man, I got me an Eli dog. I have it for a long, long time. And you have, yeah, man, what's up, man? I got my Eli dog, you know what I'm saying? And you got the guy in el barrio, órale vato, I got Eli dogs, So you're going to find all kinds of lowlifes with these dogs. It's the dog of the lowlifes, basically. Some good guys in between might have a Ford truck or a Dodge truck, but the majority are morons, okay? Point blank. No merits, average. Dog owners at best. Dog owners, dog fanciers, some of them are cheap dog fighters pretending to be dogmen. They'll never be dogmen. But all of them call themselves dogmen because that's what they do. And that's the opposite side of that study that I told you I'm going to send you the link to it. So you call me and I say, I got Chico Lopez dogs. It means I am a brand. It's a brand that you don't know because I haven't sold dogs to the homies. And that's where you get your information, the forums, the dog fighting forums, and all the places with all the trash people, all the lowlifes, all the criminals, and some of them are just dog owners that are very stupid and have something called curiosity. and even good people go to the stupid places. And basically what it is if I ask you, tell me, what was the best 5 dogs that Don may feel? Give me 5 dogs.
Well, we know Dabo was one.
Okay, so there we go, Daibo. Okay, Daibo was bred by Air Tutor, I think.
Hover's bound.
Okay, Hover Bounce. Okay, how important you think that is to me right now? It's worthless. Who's the father of Honey Bunch? I never give a shit to know. Who's the father of a ball of Buck? Never care was his real pedigree. Never I care about another stuff. The only care about is having the best dogs in the world, becoming the best man. Now let me tell you about Chico Lopez. 9 grand champion, 36 champions, 14 rum dogs, now it's 15 actually, 15 rum dogs, and traveled to 76 cities around the world. Best in show, I have to count, but I think if I say 25 times, maybe I'm a little bit shy of 25, maybe a little bit more than 25 times best in show. Okay, but actually more. I can give you 30, 40 dogs that are best in show. But let me say, if I give you the Chico Lopez test, I give you 5 dogs of mine, and you put these 5 dogs against any man in history that are alive, and that man will have to give you 5 dogs that his stud dog or himself is related to that breeding. In these 5 dogs, you are going to have all global dogs. They're not the neighborhood. Can't travel because I'm from the neighborhood. You know, boxers, they say if they travel, they get tired, so they don't like to travel. They like to stay in the United States. They are respected. Muhammad Ali got respected because when he fought in how do you call it, in Africa, and also in, I think, in Manila. So let me just tell you this: 5 dogs of mine, all global dogs, all grand champions and champions. I'm going to throw some rum dogs. I'm going to throw some dogs of the year. You probably never in your life would have meant that own a dog of the year. Okay, I got 4 of those, and I'm going to throw you in all of them best in show. I start with global champion mechanic buck rum best in show, global champion Copper Day best in show rum. Both of them are rum. Global grand champion Copperhead best in show dog of the year. First dog of the year that I give you, the all best in show. First grand champion that I give you. I'm going to give you number 4. It's going to be the sister global grand champion Chilindrina dog of the year best in show, game is in show. So I give you a game is in show too. And I'll give you number 5. I'm going to give you global champion the Bagman, and is best in show. So I give you 5 dogs, all global champions and grand champions, all best in show. I gave you some rums. I gave you dogs of the year. I gave you game is in show. I give you and 5 dogs, all Chico Lopez dogs. You understand me? And you try to put that on Patrick. You try to put that on Mayfield. You try to put that on Floyd Boudreaux. With all respect to all those men, none of them will pass that test. If you put that on any of my haters, nobody will pass on that test. I created those dogs in the past, and those are my dogs. Okay, they're my dogs. If somebody has 5 dogs at that level, by one man, one bloodline, then I'll go and give you 5 more to continue playing until we do about 40. I'll do number 6, which will be global grand champion Siga, the great best dog in the world, dog of the year, best in show 3 times. And then we'll go number 7, we'll do global champion Gasolina, the mother, best in show. I can go on like that. Those are the picks of 6 and 7, but with 5 you can kill anybody. Nobody stand up to that. So you didn't know who I was because I'm the best, and I didn't sell dogs to all the morons where you're shopping around for dogs that are 99% trash. So now I give you an advice. Get away from breeding dogs because you're breeding mutts. Get away from forums and fighting dogs because you'll go to jail. There's GPSs. This conversation here is recorded. Everything is recorded. So I'll give you an advice to stay away from those people and those conversations. I do have great dogs, and the reason why I have the great dogs is because I never like to be around other people. I only sell dogs to doctors, lawyers, engineers, university professors, celebrities, and great men, great women. Because I deserve the people. I believe the people that buy my dogs will not breed them. I don't care about breeding. Breeding is stupid. People should breed dogs to make them better, not to reproduce them. Nobody can preserve a dog if they don't even know how to create them. You understand?
Oh, yeah.
So, what do you got to say about that?
Well, what I'm doing is I go on bloodline or where the dog originally comes from, the bloodline of the name that's on it.
Yeah, I just gave you. I just gave you. Let me tell you that I bought the best. I bred to the best son of Mayday, macho one-time winner, and I got the best honey bunch dogs and the best red boy dogs in the world, and I made these dogs. And there's no one, and what you go by is really trash compared to what I go by. No merits. There's no reason to talk about it. So you're going by bloodlines. You're telling me you're going by the 200,000 men that got the same bloodline. So what does it matter, man? I understand that 99% of the people not gonna understand what I'm saying. Most people are idiots. But you going by bloodlines give you what? Exactly what?
I'm reproducing tight bred dogs.
Tight bred dogs. And these tight breds produce exactly what?
Tight bred produces tighter breed, and somebody is coming off of bloodline and breeding it down. I'm breeding.
No, tell me what produces. You're giving me a lot of verbiage. You're giving me a lot of fuzzy wuzzy. Tell me what a tight bred produces right now. Listen to me. I am the last dogman that ever produced great dogs. Last one. The rest, they're already retired and they're dying. Since 2015, 13 to be honest with you, 14 maybe, there hasn't been in America, well actually I left America in 2008, but in America there hasn't been, since the Vic deal, there has not been another Victor Acre or Chico Lopez or anything like that. You haven't been. America has not produced crap when it comes to dogmen in the last what'll be that, there'll be 10, 15 years. Haven't produced anything. There's not a single great dogman that you can guys give me names that will be the next Don Mayfield, the next Patrick. There's none coming. It won't happen. You guys don't have the culture. You guys, the game has been over. What you have is the swamp.
That's what other guys have. I'm reproducing blood from years ago.
You can't reproduce. You can't reproduce that because you're not a genius. Only a genius can reproduce. You understand? You can't reproduce anything. You don't have the expertise.
But hold on. You can't say I'm not a genius. You don't know me.
Okay, let me ask you a question. I gave you a list of 5 dogs. Give me a list of 3 dogs that you made that are that great. Then I'll believe you're a genius.
Yeah, what now?
Give me the name of 3 grand champions you made. Dog of the year, Ram dogs, something like that. Like I give you a list of 5 dogs. Give me 3 that are on that level that I just gave you, and then you're a genius. If that, you're not a genius. If you cannot give me names like that, you're not a genius.
Well, Blind Billy, what he was?
Never heard of Black Billy.
Blind Billy.
Or Blind Billy. You create Blind Billy?
No, that's what I'm trying to do.
You're trying to do it. Do you know that all those guys that have 200,000 guys with Eli dogs, they're all trying to do something and they never create anything? They're all trying. I'm sorry?
They don't know what they was doing. See, I'm that 3% you was talking about that know what he's doing.
You know what you're doing, but you called me looking for a bloodline and you told me you were confused. When you called me, you told me you were confused. So how is it that you're a genius? How you're part of the 3%? Let me give you, you need to go, listen to me. I'm telling you with all due respect, there is a study. Let me tell you what happened. In 1995, there was a guy that went to rob a bank with a gun. No mask, no nothing. And there were two doctors, two psychologists that created a study. This is smart people talking. And the study is called the Dunning-Kruger's effect. And basically what they study is, when they asked that guy and he said, why do you rob the bank? He said, I cannot believe they can see me. I thought that if I put lemon juice on my face, they wouldn't be able to see me smiling to the cameras. There's something they call the water bucket challenge. Now they're doing this milk crate challenge in the hood. People follow things like idiots, like morons. I know it's funny. For me, it's not funny when grandmother falls over and break their arms. They just testing how stupid people is. Okay? So let me explain to you something. Listen to me. Listen to me, and anybody listening to this conversation. Dunning-Kruger's effect. Just listen to that. Listen to the video of Dunning-Kruger's effect, and it tells you 99% of the people, or most people, think they are above average, but they are not, because when they test them, listen to this. They had a group of engineers. There was over 1,000 engineers. They thought they were the best guys in the company. Everybody thought they were the best. And they say, we're going to give you a test. And they give the test, and they all engineers failed the test, and everyone was mostly average. Many of them were poor, and only a very small percentage, they were great. But the reason why they were great, because they passed the test. And you don't pass the test. Unfortunately, you have an opinion about yourself that is bigger than reality. You lost sense of reality. You really think that you're great, but you're not. In the dogs, you're completely, absolutely nobody. And you want to do Blind Billy, that was done in a different ecosystem where there were great men, great with different times, and people could do things. Today you have GPSs, you have recordings, you have this, you have people following you with tracks, with that, all kinds of. You can't be doing that. That stuff that was doing the time of Blind Billy today, they really put you in jail. Just go to Google and Google dogfighting bust, and go to the case. Look at the picture of all those dumbasses standing where they took their picture. All of them were trying to create something. They were what kind of bloodline you have, man? Yeah, man, what kind of bloodline you're running? They're the same. Those are the guys that they think they're dogmen, but they're really dog fanciers. You're not a dogman until you qualify as a dogman. You cannot, you understand? The study actually talks about NFL games, football players say, oh, you can watch television and see and say, why they don't make this play? I think you could. Everybody is a genius on Monday about football, but you need to be in the game, in the field, to understand the parameters that are involved in that particular game. So what I'm trying to help you, sir, and I told you I was not going to sell you a dog, but I was telling you that I was going to help you, and I was going to help anybody watching this video, okay? I'm going to help you by giving you the parameters. There is no chance. I was lucky to be in the golden era of the American Pit Bull Terriers. My only, and I admire your intentions, because you want to create something great, and that's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to create something great. You are just too late, and the bloodlines, you don't even know what bloodline you want to start with, so you were too late. You just came into the field too late. It's gone, it's over. The ecosystem of what it used to be the game at one point is now called the swamp. And it's called the swamp because the great men and dogmen that left at the time, it was replaced by thugs, by lowlifes, and pretenders. They wanted to be like Michael Vick. You understand? And so what you have now is trash holding pedigrees. The same mutts that in 1994, 95, I said, I will not buy the trash dog. So Eli dogs were never, ever in my scoop. Bobby Hall was in my scoop himself. And I bought some Eli dogs through Bobby Hall. And they were below average. So I gave them away. Okay? I paid about $3,500 for those puppies back in 1993 and 94. So, you buying watered down stuff and you want to reinvent the wheel. I got better dogs than Blind Billy. Blind Billy is shit next to any one of those 5 dogs that I just gave you. Blind Billy is garbage compared to those 5 dogs that I just gave you. Complete garbage.
What about Kobe Dime?
Kobe Dime is complete mutt next to the dogs I gave you. I just gave you, absolutely, yes. Are you kidding me? Listen to me. Let me explain to you. Do you know anything about life? No, hold on one second. Hold on one second. Let me explain to you something. There's something called car racing. Cars, okay? You cannot compare the T model, the Ford T model, with the brand new Corvette by Chevrolet, okay, or Ferrari, okay. The technology that was called, you understand this concept? It's called the development process and the selection process to create a dog like Ciega the Great, global grand champion, and all the testing and everything that went for all these men. And I created something that's better than everything in the past. We are going forward. A car today, a regular car that you buy, it can do the quarter mile, a good car, it can do about 9 seconds. The Demon, in the Dodge Demon can do 9 seconds, I think, okay? Back in 1950, 9 seconds were pro stock racers. They used to think that the cars will disintegrate at 200 miles an hour. And there's many cars today that you buy them and they do 200 miles an hour. So you're bringing me something from that time with the breed started coming into America in the 1700s. And you telling me that Kobe Dime is going to be better than Ciega the Great? My man, listen, you need to be smart. I wanted to give you an advice, and I wanted to make this conversation to be a lesson to teach other people and young people to stay away from the swamp, to stay away from moronic people, to stay away from idiots and stupids. Some people cannot be saved. Some people...
But you said the new dog was the swamp. But the Kobe dog can't be the swamp because he's the dog back in the day.
No, Kobe Dime is not the swamp. I didn't call Kobe Dime the swamp. I called Kobe Dime the past. I gave you a comparison of the racing cars of the 1950s, and I gave you a comparison on the street cars of 2021. The street cars that you buy from the dealer are faster than the race cars from the track. If you compare them, if you compare the fastest car that you can buy with cash and a Pro Modify of the 1950s, they will get whooped, all of them, by the cars you can buy today. So there's two ways. Well, hold on a second, because I'm going to explain to you. So that's exactly how it works. Now, there is a point where in the dogs, the men that created on the golden era of the dogs, that it was a base by the work of the men you mentioned before, Howard, what's his name, Don Mayfield, all these great men of the past, Don Maloney, all these great men created a base on the 1950s and 60s that started to manifest in the 70s. In the 80s and the 90s and 2000s were the best years. In the 90s, I didn't pay attention to Eli dogs per se. I never took a look at those dogs from North Carolina. The guy, I don't want to say his name, is the number one seller of dogs. Never had a website. Never pay attention to him because I am not average. I'm too smart. You know why I'm not average? Because I gave you the merits. The only reason I'm not average is because I have the merits to back it up. The only reason I can say I'm a genius is because I have the merits to back it up. Those men cannot shine my fucking shoes. You understand? And that's how it works. So what I'm trying to do is educate people in the future, the new guys that are coming in, and they don't know nothing about dogs, and they start to become like, oh my God, like mosquitoes in the night, going after the buzzer. And they're going thinking about all these stories about dog fighting and the dogman. And if you're going to be a dogman, if you buy 2 puppies, and to be a dogman, you have to be this. And to be a dogman, you have to be that. There ain't nobody becoming no dogman. Those years, the golden era, dried out. Michael Vick killed it. It's gone. It's finished. What you have now is the leftovers, is the swamp. The swamp is not the fastest car in America today. The swamp will be like all factories from Chevy, Chevrolet, and Ferrari. They all close, and you have your junker pieces out of the best cars, and you try to make something good out of the junker. That'll be the swamp. You understand? And I gave you a free lesson, and anybody who's listening to this video is getting a free lesson only because I want to save your time. Let me tell you what is the greatest thing that can happen today, because it's really funny times and best times. Someone that buys a puppy from me, from Chico Lopez, someone that buys, like the school teacher buys a puppy, they're not going to breed it. They don't have the capacity to make dogs like I do. They buy my dog like they buy a Ferrari. Not to reproduce the Ferrari, not to reinvent the Ferrari, but to use it and enjoy it till it finish. That's what they're doing. They buy the dog. My dog that they buy from a dog like, let's say, Ciego the Savage, bred to any one of my bitches, is a better dog than you can produce ever, and anyone else ever. Don Mayfield if you had a dog like Ciego the Savage, he will go bananas with such a dog. A son of global champion the Bagman and global grand champion Ciego the Great can do things that are completely phenomenal. Phenomenal. Do you understand? So I'm trying to save your time, my friend. You know, maybe, I'm gonna give you just one quick second. Maybe it's best if you get a really great job, save money, and take care of your life, take care of your health, and maybe one day, without dogs, you can qualify to buy a dog and become a great man and own a great dog. There's no pleasure than owning a great dog. The reason of breeding dogs is to make them better, not to breed dogs just to fuck around. You understand?
Let me ask you a question.
Absolutely.
Who do you think better, Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant?
I like both. I think the potential on Kobe Bryant, if Shaq O'Neal, Shaq was a partner to him as Pippen was a partner to Jordan, I think Kobe Bryant would have more merits. However, the merits are on on Jordan, and Jordan did something that was great. He would play against adversity, being sick, and he was a great leader. And Kobe Bryant was a little short when it came to terms of leadership. To me, maybe they're 1 and 2. They're both great. And if you want to listen to this. It's a book writer. His name is Bob Stevens. He wrote a red book. It's called Dogs of Velvet and Steel. On his last book, he says this: every 10 years, every sport gets a genius, someone that bring a breath air to that sport. In the dogs, used to be the springs. You get a guy like Carver, and then you get a guy like Crenshaw with Jeep and Honey Bunch after him. And those guys are the peaks at the top, and everybody's in the valley at the bottom like freaking worms. Some, if they want to be comparing to him, right? Just for comparison. But when it comes to the big picks, he says this. He says Chico Lopez is the Jordan of the dogs. And he said that. He wrote it. You can buy his book. You go to his website. And if you want, I'll send you the link. You can read my name in there. He says he is the once in a lifetime human coming into the breed. He is the Michael Jordan, greatest ever. So that's how it works. That's how it works. Only because technology, you and I are talking right now. Without technology, there'll never be a chance of you right now. In this video right now, you're educating thousands of people. Thousands of people are learning from you. And I hope you understand that I'm giving you a message from my heart, because I'm not looking to sell your dog. And I'm not looking to sell a dog to everybody. Most of the people that call me, they've been declined. Most of my haters, they've been declined, or they know they cannot afford one of my dogs, or they have a problem thinking that they are so good, and if they call me, they're probably going to get the truth, and they're going to get butt hurt. But I'm here to uplift people. I'm here to uplift you, brother. I want you to be great. Listen to me. I want you to do great, brother. I want you to stay away from crime, because all the dogs you're looking for are only in crime. I'm not a dog fighter. I'm a retired real dogman. Between a dogman and a dog fighter is a huge difference. Dogmen create shit. Dog fighters fight dogs.
So if Michael Jordan would have played with Shaq and Kobe would have played with Scottie Pippen, who get more rings?
That will be a pretending. We don't know yet. That will be a good thing if that couldn't happen. Now that's pretending. I cannot make an assessment on pretending.
Who was the better boxer, Sugar Ray Leonard or Floyd Mayweather?
If you ask me that question, I'll say that the Sugar Ray was a lot better. I know boxing, brother. Talking to a guy that knows boxing. I'm not an expert, but I know boxing. And I respect Mayweather. Great guy, make more money than everybody. God bless him. But there's a huge difference. In one is a defensive guy running around on a bicycle. You know, at one point when it was Pretty Boy Floyd, he had a how do you call it? He had a good punch. But listen, they're both great. There's no reason to say that one is bad and the other one is good, or one is great and the other one is shit. It's called the stupid effect. People always want to pick up one player and shit on the other one. The both are elite, both on the top. So when we're talking about dogs, and you're comparing Chico Lopez and one of today's YouTuber swampers, we're not talking about Messi and Ronaldo. We're not talking about Sugar Ray Leonard and Floyd Mayweather. You're talking about Chico is the freaking greatest by the numbers. Please check me against any garbage man with an opinion.
Now this is what I'm trying to do, Chico. I'm trying to cross the tightest bred dog to the other tightest bred dog to breed it to some red boy.
My man, Red Boy is a very catalytic bloodline and help a lot of people, and you might be able to create something that can help you better than ever. But there's dogs that you're gonna create. My man, this tightest shit you have is coming from a low life. The tightest shit you have right now is coming from a moron. That bought from a moron. They're all morons. They're all stupid. They're all dog owners pretending to be dogmen. And this Red Boy shit you're gonna get is watered down bullshit. So I seen millions of those dogs around the world. I go to Europe and I see those dogs. I go to Ukraine, I go to China and I see those dogs. I've been to 76 cities around the world, and I promise you there's no man dead or alive that's seen more dogs than me, walk more dogs than me, condition more dogs than me. I'm telling you this from a point of knowledge, not from a point of wondering. When you ask me that wondering question, I told you I can't talk about it because I'm not a wanderer, but I'm actually a guy that is a doer and I know shit. So I gotta go right now, my man. It's really entertaining to a point. I think I applaud you for being the kind of man you are with the patience. And I want you to know this from a brown man, a Latino man, that to a black man. I'm gonna tell you this, man, brother. I love you. I don't want you to be doing shit. You're trying to reinvent a wheel when I'm fucking already flying on helicopters and airplanes trying to go to the moon. So you reinventing the wheel don't mean shit. So trying to make all these dogs coming from the past and I'm trying to do this. My man, you're trying to reinvent the wheel. And that would have been a great idea when there were no cars available. I'm already going I'm like Elon Musk. I'm trying to go to Mars. I'm always learning and try to go to Mars. I'm on a different level. So the only reason why I mention all this shit about me and all about me is to help you. That a guy like me cares about you. You see, if some other guy will tell you that's below you, don't believe this motherfucker. If somebody is on your same level, he may be competing with you. I'm not competing with you, brother. And I'm not telling you this because I want to sell your dog. I'm telling you this because I want to save your time. And I want to save the time of all the 15-year-old men and all the 20-year-old men, 35-year-old men that are being attracted like mosquitoes into the zapper about the so-called game. Yeah, man. Yeah, let's talk some dogs, man. Yeah, let's talk some dogs. Now, my man, listen to me. Listen, it's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. I'm going to send you the freaking link. You're going to look at it, and after talking, you're going to say, man, fuck everybody. I like this brown Latino motherfucker called Chico Lopez. He told me the truth. He opened up my eyes. I'm going to save my money because a dollar in my pocket is a good dollar. Okay, homeboy?
The only thing about it is, I think you make good points and all your points is valued. It's just that I'm breeding the red boy Kobe Eli. I'm breeding Kobe Eli and I'm breeding red boy dogs.
My man, listen,
I don't too much care what nobody say. I already know what those dogs gonna do.
Okay. Listen to me. You're gonna get those dogs. You don't know exactly what's gonna happen, bro.
If you bred dogs, you're a breeder. You should know that if you get the tightest bred dog you can, and you breed it back to another tight bred dog.
My man, listen. Let me tell you with all due respect. Let me tell you with respect.
Red boy Kobe Eli dog, and I promise you they can stay there and play with anybody.
There's a million people thinking just like you 20, 30 years ago, and they got no marriage to prove it. It's just wondering and wishing. Plus, you got a huge disadvantage that the swamp is drying out. There's always going to be dog fighters. I gave you an advice. You're not going to have the excuse to say, I didn't know. Somebody care enough to give you an advice. But I can't be stupid. You cannot defeat stupidity. And stupidity will always stand up and run. So it's up to you, my man. You do as you please. All I did is give you a great advice. I'm not going to argue with you. I don't argue with stupid. absolute. Listen, a Kobe dog and all these dogs versus the dogs that I produce are completely freaking garbage. Look at the numbers.
So you saying a red boy dog crossed to a pure Kobe dog won't work?
Absolutely garbage. You get a pet. You get a pet. My man, you're not a genius. I'm sorry. I know you think yourself. That's why I'm going to send you the link so you can see yourself on the Dunning-Kruger thing. Everybody thinks he's a genius. They just don't have the facts to prove it. God bless you, my man. Listen, God bless you. I want to spend more time with you. I wanted to have the conversation to give you from God a good advice and help you. I'm an humble man because I'm always learning. And I knew you were probably take something, and I think some of the things that I said, they are in your mind. They're probably going to work in the back of your head. And I hope that God blesses you and inspires you and lets you know that I told you it's nothing but the facts and make you change your mind. But I can't force you. You can't bring the horse to the water, but you cannot let the motherfucker drink by force. So it'll be your problem. The only difference is going to be you cannot say I didn't have a chance. And that's what I do. God bless you, brother. God is great. Enjoy life. Good luck in whatever you have, because some people need luck. You know, thank God I don't need luck because I have God with me and I love facts. Take care, my man. God bless you. All right? Nothing but love, brother. He hung up. He hung up the phone. You know, this is another lesson for you guys listening. Even these thugs, you try to help them, these thugs will rather be thugs than get the facts. I really told these thugs the facts, and I'm going to send them the link. But these thugs, and this guy's from Mississippi. He's a thug from Mississippi. These thugs got no saving. They are morons. They're stupid. The IQ is like 50. God bless you guys. My name is Chico Lopez, ChicoLopez.com. You young guys, you just learned a whole lot. Those are the guys that you've been listening to in forums and stuff like that. Nothing but morons.